I gave my top rankings of the quarterbacks. I gave Breeze 1. I gave Ryan and Newton split at 2. I gave them a split at 2 because their careers really do similar to a degree. When they up, they up. When they down, they down. They both went to the Super Bowl. They both went to the Super Bowl. They did not finish. They came players away from finishing. And in the same year, they won the MVP in that same season. So when they up, they up, and when they down, they down. So to me, the 2 spot is split between the 2. I gave Teddy Bridgewater 3, and I gave Jameis Winston 4. Now let me tell you, my buddy loved Jameis Winston. He was Florida State guy #1. Um, and he said I was out my mind for putting him a backup over Jameis Winston. But when you look at the numbers, now granted, the touchdown to interception ratio is a lot different because he missed 2 years of football. 28 touchdowns, 22 interceptions in his career, 6,150 passing yards in his total career. But when you look at the credentials that they both have, when you look at Jameis Winston he has 69 touchdowns, 44 interceptions. He's a Pro Bowler. He was the Rookie of the Year 2015, All Rookie Team 2015. Teddy Bridgewater, Pro Bowler 2015, Rookie of the Year 2014, All Rookie Team 2014. Teddy Bridgewater. Now, missed 2 years of football to a degree. Jameis Winston, one of the fastest guys to get to 10K yards in a short career, which that's perfectly fine. But to me, the biggest credential, if Blair Walsh don't miss this field goal, Teddy Bridgewater got a playoff game win, while Jameis Winston do not have a playoff appearance. But Teddy Bridgewater do have one playoff appearance compared to Jameis Winston with no playoff appearances. Now, granted, a lot of people won't be like, well, Minnesota got a tier 1 defense, and which to a degree, you are right. I can't sit up here and lie to you and say that you are not correct. You got the right answer. But you look at the system. A lot of people say Teddy Bridgewater was a system guy. And maybe I'm agree with you. When in the time that he played in Minnesota, he was a system guy. Because the team was built to be around Adrian Peterson. Ain't no doubt about that. That was 28's team. That wasn't his team. But let's think about this, guys. I'm pretty sure if he would have had an opportunity to play this season. Let's look at Case Keenum numbers from this past year. A completion percentage is of 67.6%. He had 3,547 passing yards this past year, 22 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. That's the backup of the backup. You get what I'm saying? The third string quarterback playing a Pro Bowl year last year. Now, granted, he has a very great defense to help him, but 22 and 7 are not bad numbers at all. Now, granted, the last 6 quarters that Minnesota has played a meaningful game haven't been worth too much. But at the same time, if you ask me, put Teddy Bridgewater in that spot, a healthy Teddy Bridgewater in that spot, I'm pretty sure you're going to be looking at the upper 4,000 yards. I'm pretty sure your touchdowns going to probably be in probably like the mid 30s, maybe the upper 30s. And your interception ratio will probably be a little bit higher, probably about 12 to 13. That's a heck of a year as a Pro Bowl year. It's kind of unfair from the talent perspective because my buddy told me, he said Jameis Winston is more talented than Teddy Bridgewater. And to a degree, I guess when you look at numbers and how much time he has missed, you can say that. But at the same time, you see what Case Keenum did when the offense started to change. I don't see how, if we were to look at it now, if he was still playing for Minnesota, we would start considering, because this boy have talent, we would start considering saying that, man, Teddy Bridgewater might have a chance to be the MVP. Now, come and sit behind New Orleans, and I'm pretty sure New Orleans is going to re-sign him, and he stay another year, and you can start getting him for a cheaper price. Because if Drew Brees do retire soon, you get Teddy for a cheaper price, you can start re-signing people like Marshawn Lattimore, Michael Thomas, Cameron Jordan again coming up soon, Alvin Kamara giving him his extensions. People like that going to start getting the talk next. They're going to need the money. They're going to have to get paid. Will Marcus Davenport going into his 3rd year is balling. He going to have to get paid. So there's a lot of what ifs going on with this right now. I think this boy have a great chance. I still think he's going to be better. I think he's definitely going to be better than Jameis Winston, if you ask me. First thing first, you got to stay on the field. You a professional. Your tactics cannot overshadow your career. And I feel like that's what's overshadowing his career right now. That's what's the only thing that's going to hold him back is his antics. And a lot of people I talk to that are Tampa Bay fans are frustrated. My uncle is a big Tampa Bay fan, and he said he see how talented this roster is and how much he put in a stranglehold on this organization. Some people say you should never drafted Jameis Winston out of Florida State. I still don't see why not, because I think that boy he was made to be a professional quarterback coming out the system that he was in Florida State. They was making professional quarterbacks. Remember at one point in time, they had first-round draft picks every year as a quarterback. E.J. Manuel, Christian Pond, and then Jameis Winston. Now, granted, the other two didn't do so well, but they was making quarterbacks because of the system, professional-wise. Credential-wise in the professional. I'm not talking about credentials that they had in college. No, that's not fair. I'm not worried about college. College days are over. I'm talking about the NFL. Credential-wise, with the accolades that they have won, are very similar. Really, it's the same. Pro Bowl, Rookie of the Year, all-rookie team. There's no all-pros. There's no second team, no third teams. There's none of that right now. And the thing that Teddy got over him, he has a playoff experience game. Blair Walsh make that field goal. He got a playoff win going on, probably to play out of Arizona or Carolina in the next round. But I still think what I think. I'm going to stand by. I think it's going to pay off real soon, if you ask me. Y'all, I'm still watching this funeral. Mr. Biggs just got up here. I wonder when Mr. Biggs going to say. I'm about to rewind it back once I finish with this show. One of my favorite people from the Isley Brothers, Ron Isley, Mr. Biggs. Some of the greatest songs for the Isley Brothers. Let's finish off with Manu Ginobili and David West. Manu Ginobili officially retired after 16 years, I believe, in the NBA. If you ask me, I asked the question on Twitter the other day, is Manu Ginobili a Hall of Famer? 95% said yes, 5% said no. He's definitely a Hall of Famer, guys. There's no doubt in my mind, because in the basketball world, it's not about your NBA career. It's about your other aspects of your career as well. I think he was a multi-time European MVP. He won the European Championship in Argentina, I believe. He led Argentina to a gold medal over the USA them years, when the USA was bad, wearing Reebok. He's a Hall of Famer. He's definitely going to the Hall of Fame. And a lot of people try to throw shade because he never was a first-team All-NBA, second or third-team All-NBA. He never won no scoring titles. I think he just averaged with about 16 points, 15 points a game out his old career. The boy can play. 2-time All-Star, 4-time NBA champion. No doubt in my mind he's going to the Hall of Fame. It's not about what you do in the NBA sometimes. He got great accolades, but look at his whole professional career. Carmelo Anthony, when you start thinking about, he's a multi-time All-Star, but he never won an MVP, never won an NBA title. He's only been to the Western Conference Finals one time in his career. He only had one scoring title in his career. If you ask me, he would be one of the ones like second or third ballot guys. But he's the all-time leading scorer for Olympic basketball. Imagine that. One of the greatest Olympic champions for Team USA, 3-time Olympic gold medalist. In his college career, he won a national championship with Syracuse. So his credentials going to definitely get him a first ballot in. His NBA career might not be the best. I mean, it's pretty solid, but it might not be compared to what LeBron going to get. You know what I'm saying? You think about Carmelo Anthony played with 3 MVPs. He played with Allen Iverson. He played with Russell Westbrook. Now he's playing with James Harden. Carmelo don't have no MVPs. When you think about Russell Westbrook definitely going to the Hall of Fame. Averaged the triple-double back-to-back years in MVP. He's an Olympic gold medalist. All he needs is an NBA title to put a stamp on his career, and he'll be one of the greatest of all time. Same thing with James Harden. Win the NBA title, you'll be one of the greatest of all time. And if they don't get it, I still think them boys are going to the Hall of Fame. because what they bring to the game is pretty amazing, if you ask me. I'm just being honest. And lastly, let's talk about David West. And this is why I want to talk about D-Dub, because definitely he's one of the greatest of the Hornets/Pelican history. If you know me, I know about pretty much both of them. If I had to rank between the two organizations, Anthony Davis would definitely be one. Chris Paul would be two. David West would be three. Baron Davis would be four. And actually, no, I lied. I'll put Drew Holiday 4, and I'll put Baron Davis 5. And people like P.J. Brown, David Wesley, Peja Stojakovic, Jamal Mashburn, Jamal Big Cat McGraw will all fall behind Baron Davis and company. Tyson Chandler as well. I think the Hornets, well, not the Hornets, the Pelicans just came out. Bleacher Report came out with teams that should go rock their throwback jerseys. So they pulled out the original Baron Davises when they first came out, the green teal one, and they put the Pelican in the middle where the Hornet used to be. So I can only imagine with the shorts, they're going to put the Pelican at the bottom instead of the Hornet. And I think they should, like how Utah got this alternate court to a degree, I think they should go ahead and put the Pels in them colors for a game and retire David West like that. In them old uniforms, retiring. I think his number should be retired. Because remember, he was the franchise all-time leading scorer before Anthony Davis passed him up this past year. So I think the Pels should retire him and let him be the first one. I think they should retire him in the green jersey because he never played a game for the Pels. They retire him in the green or the white jersey and for David West. Shout out to D-Dub, man. One of the greatest New Orleans Hornets of all time. Good to see him get what he deserved for sure. But guys, on that note, let's talk about unity. Before I go, I want to play the music to kind of end it. Watching this funeral for sure, let's turn down just a little bit. Watching this funeral, you've seen all type of people be unified for Aretha Franklin. And it's crazy how one person can bring so many people from so many different cultures, so many different races, so many different religions in one building to celebrate somebody's life. And I think us as human beings, especially the ones that are Christians, we should keep that in mind. Like, it shouldn't take a funeral to bring us unified together. No matter what color or what religion or what race you are, it shouldn't take a funeral to bring us all together. We should stand for one another. We should stand for justice, for the right things in our lives, and not continue to stand for foolishness. Because so many people nowadays are standing up for foolishness, but they're not standing up for justice. And they're not standing up for what's right. And that's the sad part. This is the direction our world is going in. We standing up for more foolishness than what's right. We taking God out of school. We taking prayer out of school, but I don't even want to go there. We're taking God out of school, but we're bringing more guns in school. And y'all understand if y'all don't understand that, it's going to catch y'all later. So much tragedy and confusion, so much evil is in this world. And we need to come together and love one another. Speaking of the Isley Brothers had a song years ago said, everybody come join the caravan of love. Everybody take a stand and join the caravan of love. And we need to get back to that and be united and do the right things in our lives. And on that note, I hope y'all enjoy y'all Labor Day weekend. Yes, sir, it is Labor Day weekend. Enjoy y'all Labor Day weekend. Enjoy college football. Get ready for the NFL season next week. Monday, we're going to talk about the aftermath of LSU and talk a little bit about Florida State and Virginia Tech. Wednesday, we're going to talk about Philadelphia and the Atlanta Falcons kicking off. And then Friday, we're going to talk about LSU. We're going to talk a little bit about the Saints going into the weekend next week. We officially starting the season back. I love y'all. God bless y'all. Whatever y'all do this week, be safe. Shout out to the fam. Shout out to my girlfriend, her beautiful family. Shout out to everybody out here. You hear me? Y'all be safe. We out.